Today I want to talk about fear. Fear, a very natural thing. And of course, I've been afraid too in my life. But how productive is fear and what is fear exactly? First of all, feeling fear results into a low state of consciousness, which kind of means that your frequency is lower. Of course, there are situations in your life that you can be really, really afraid. I know all about that. I was married, and my marriage was not the fairy tale marriage. In fact, my ex husband used me as a punching ball. So every time that I would lay in my bed and I could hear the engine of the car approaching, he parks the car, you hear the door slam, and then you hear the door open, and the footsteps are approaching. And yeah, I was really afraid in these moments because I never knew if it would be the nice guy or the one who's gonna beat the F out of me. And believe me, he used everything, not just his hands. But in the moment that I was really afraid, because it's very scary to know that your abuser is coming up the staircase and you could be the target again. And even though I was very, very, very afraid, I somehow knew that I had to lift myself out of this fear. Um, how do you do that? You practice courage. So what I used to do whenever I heard the footsteps, I would start breathing deeply. First of all, breathe deep into the lower belly so that you automatically calm down and you can let the moment happen, whichever way the moment would turn. Either he was in a good mood or either he was in a really, really, really bad mood. The moment that he would start his stuff, his very aggressive and violent stuff, my fear would actually leave me. It would leave me, and I would just really be standing there like, okay, you know. In fact, he started to piss me off. What would have happened if I would have given in to this fear? Like I mentioned earlier, fear produces a low state of consciousness, low frequencies. So my situation back then would have gotten worse if I had given in to the fear. I didn't give in to the fear, and that resulted in me. Okay, I had to escape. I literally had to escape. I left one time in a normal way, and then for some reason he somehow convinced my mom to see the baby, etc. And that's when he kidnapped my son. Okay, he kidnapped my son. And since I was married, the police couldn't do anything because they just said, well, you're married, so it's not kidnapping. So what I had to do that day, and I actually did that, I went back because I'm not going to leave my child with somebody who might kill it. What if his rage would go towards my child? No, I'd rather die first. Okay, so what I did, I went back and I faced my fears. That is when I started to plot. I literally started to plot how to get out of there. And 3 months later, when I had been able to gain his trust again, I set him up. And that is when I escaped. And that is when I went into hiding. And for a while, I, you know, like I went to the other side of the country to be away so that I could live fear free. But sometimes certain fears can really get inside of you. It would creep up, and immediately I would dismiss it. It's not here, it's in your mind. Let it go. Let it go. Do not be afraid. And that is exactly what I want to talk about here. Is a fear, is it really because something is about to happen? Or is it a fear that comes from your mind? So be very aware of that, and start analyzing what are you afraid of? Are you afraid, for instance, you're going out, right, to go to a shop? Are you afraid that you might get robbed? That is a fear that comes from your mind. There's no reason you can walk down the street and not be robbed. There's no it doesn't make sense. So really, really go and analyze where your fears come from. And if your fears are legit, yeah, if you are in a situation that is a fearful situation, drop the fear, start practicing courage. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Start practicing that courage, because that is the way you will get out of this situation. Okay? If you start giving in to your fear and let it consume you, your fears become dominant thoughts. Dominant thoughts are what you attract. Okay? Dominant thoughts are that tree. Now, if that tree, that little seed is a seed of fear, you will get a very, very tree. You don't want that. You want that really nice tree. The tree that will get you out. So always be aware and always analyze yourself. What is this fear telling me, and is it really legit? Let me put it this way. Fear is a low frequency. You don't want it in your life because you need to, you don't want to, but you need to manifest nice things in your life. That's why you are here on this planet to begin with. So if you are very afraid about anything and everything, practice courage and you will find out that the fear will go away. It's how you neutralize things. Okay? So when I'm really afraid, I am not courageous in that moment. Okay? But courage will neutralize fear. And lo and behold, you come out the winner. Besides that, if you are afraid of a person or a government or whatever, you're giving these people power. Do you really want an abusive person, organ, or whatever? Do you really want to give them that much power? Is that seriously what you want? No, that's not what you want. You are an independent, strong person. And you don't have to give others power if you don't want to. So, again, forget the fears, drop them, just drop them. Realize it's a program, drop those fears, practice courage. Courage is a higher frequency. And from there, things open up. This was my talk for today. I am sending you smiles across the digital miles, and I love you.